Welcome back to another video. It's been a long weekend, and I know I say this every time, but I guarantee you this is going to be a short video. I almost didn't want to do one tonight just because a lot of things going on right now. Did my taxes last night. I always wait till the last minute, and I just can't understand how you have a married middle-class couple. My wife's a teacher. Doesn't make anything extravagant. Most of y'all know the line of work I'm in, public safety and stuff. I don't make a lot of money, and I take out extra, and she does also. And you do your taxes, and they say, yeah, we also would like an additional couple of thousand, and you're just fall backwards. That's before I even got to the crypto stuff. Like, it was just, oh my God, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. So on top of that, if y'all haven't heard what the latest and greatest new fandangled thing is from the GrumpyDad Studios. Since I couldn't figure out what I was going to do with the last 4 hours of my day, usually I was sleeping those 4 hours. Why sleep when there's more crypto stuff to do? After many requests, which I still don't know why, but hey, that's what y'all requested. Here I am. The GrumpyDad crypto Discord server. I posted a link in the Twitter X. I told y'all need to be following the Twitter X so y'all can be early and everything and find out what I'm doing. But I just thought it was time. I'm spread out all over the place. I thought maybe this will be a place that I could put all kinds of updates in one spot. And it covers a lot of stuff, just like me. Y'all know there's nothing short about me. And it's like I would say that this is going to be a short video, and we know that's not going to be true. But what can you see covered in this thing? So, of course, we're going to have all my YouTube videos. That's what got me to this point. Some official links that y'all know how to get to certain places, but mainly also the general chat, where it's like any other Discord chat. We can all chit chat about different things and BS and whatever. But the biggest thing is, this is a place that you can find updates. Hopefully I can keep them up to date, about a lot of projects, and also kind of ranking them to a point. If somebody sees one lower than the other, don't get your feelings hurt. But that's why I kind of started with kind of how I feel about some, and I need to move some up, I need to move some down. Don't get me wrong, but like when you see the top 2 or 3, that's kind of what my feelings are. But I have where any kind of announcements that come from those projects, you should start seeing them eventually populate here. So GEODNET and ENTROPY, and I've tried to even forward some into here so that y'all can hopefully kind of come here as a one-stop shop if y'all need to see updates on different projects. Most of these projects, I have invited somebody here, from Junkcoin and different things like that. So I told them they're welcome to come here and basically promote anything they want to promote with their project. So if y'all need to see what's going on with some of these projects, y'all can. Not only do we have also projects, I try to put a little bit of everything in here. If you want to know a little more about third-party software going on to some old Helium devices, some pods, I've got Bit Harvest right here, and putting their announcements here when they make announcements. Also, I have Crank here because some of y'all are into Crank. I'm not into them, but hey, this is going to be kind of whatever y'all are asking for to a point. And any other third-party software that y'all might know about that I don't know about, that y'all might want to shill here in this group or ask about it or anything like that, and somebody might be able to tell you about it. I have a little, I don't know what else to call it, kind of like a non-crypto section. Like, what do we do when we're not working? Y'all know I'm very big into Call of Duty. So I'm planning on putting a lot of Call of Duty content here, kind of keeping it in this one spot so that if y'all not into Call of Duty, you don't have to worry about that being in the general section or mixed up with any of these projects. Just some of my hobbies. Y'all know I have the other YouTube page. Eventually start throwing some of that stuff here in the fishing and the hunting and the ham radio type stuff that I'm into. and kind of maybe moving this down and up a little bit, because maybe hosting, with it being, you know, a crypto project, maybe we need to move this up a little bit. So I got a spot in here for hosting. Y'all know I'm into always looking for hosts. You know, if you have any kind of equipment that isn't in use and you want to host, you can play something on here. You know, Who Farted said he's looking for a Wingbits host in Alaska. So joking, not joking. If you are interested, if you look at the Wingbits map and you say, hey, my area is prime for a Wingbit station, but I missed the DIY stuff and I really can't afford one of the new devices, even with Grumpy's code, then you go to the want to host thing, and you can go in here and say, I live in so-and-so Minnesota or something. You might come and say, I live in Chugwater. I keep hearing that y'all talking about me, like we're prime real estate or something. And I'm interested in hosting some type of station. And of course, that guy from Chugwater is going to get slammed on. So you got those two channels. And even like garage sale. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep this up for. This is just an idea I had. You know, sometimes people have, you know, Who Farted got 2 GPUs that he's looking to offload. So I put a little disclaimer up here saying, hey, if y'all sell anything, I'm not responsible for it. This is just a way for people to contact each other. And I put on here, please use PayPal, goods and services, because if it doesn't get ever shipped, you know, Helium devices have a hard time finding their home location when they're shipped sometimes. You use PayPal, you use protection. Venmo and some of these other ones have the same thing kind of set up, protection, so that if it doesn't arrive, you have a way of getting your money back. That's kind of my disclaimer. What y'all do from here, y'all start, you know, what I really would like to see is, and I'm probably going to clean this up just a little bit, is what I really would like to see is, where you kind of list the stuff for sale and that's it. And if somebody's interested in that item, they just automatically DM you and we can keep all this other stuff kind of clean. But for right now, this is brand new. I'm going to tell you, I'm very, very, very pleased with the fact that first day that we've did this today, I started setting up a little bit yesterday. Today's the first day I really advertised it. We got 25 people already in it. Hey, I'm happy and ecstatic with that. Hoping I can double that by the next time y'all see this video, you know, next Monday. But we'll see. We'll see how that works out. You know, and then that's basically it. So that's how we're doing it right now. You know, I got people asking me about food channels. I'm trying not to make it too convoluted. You know, because if you have these expanded, it gets kind of long, you know. So again, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure there'll be a lot of tweaking. Most of y'all know D Vaselina. D Vaselino is the guy who does all these Grumpy Dad shirts and the hat that I'm missing right now. I'm too lazy to go out my truck again. Look, I was up all night last night doing taxes till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I've been dealing with this while, you know, I'm at work today and dealing with this tonight. And it's 10 p.m. already. And I'm just starting this video. So, you know, I've been working at it. This is completely new to me. I don't know anything about Discord. And luckily I've have, you know, Eric from Bit Harvest has been kind of helped me out with it. A couple other guys, and again, D Vaselino, if y'all know him from the other groups, been really helped me out. And it seems to be catching on, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I'm hoping I can devote some good time to it, expand it, make it a little bit bigger. But I'm learning. I'm watching YouTube videos and learning. So as part of this Discord thing, I'm probably going to sunset a couple of the Facebook groups. I'm in way too many Facebook groups, and it seems like I was adminning and modding those with several people, like 2 different Helium groups, a D-Pin group, a Wingbits group, and I'm left by myself. And that's kind of pulling me, not that I even give it that much time, but if I can consolidate this all into one place, you know, on Discord, where it covers all these different projects, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Because I know not everybody's in Discord, and that's the only reason why I might keep one of the Facebook groups up. I don't know yet, but I'm literally modding 5 different crypto groups. Five. Two Heliums, a Helium Louisiana. I started one because everybody was stepping on each other for Helium. So Helium Louisiana, DPIN, and Wingbits. It's 5 right there on top of my personal one, on top of my business one. And you'll wonder why I got gray hair and no hair. Let's get back to what y'all really came here for. So starting off since our last video, which was April 7th, we've had a pretty healthy recovery. Trump relaxed some tariffs, and a couple of different things got cleared up. So everything seems to be looking, if we can kind of keep this up. But we were down. Let's see, down here somewhere in the 70s, high 70s when we did last week's video. Here we are, 85,000. We came up to 85. This is the 1 hour, 15-minute chart actually. So here's the 1 hour chart from Bitcoin. And like I said, I don't know exactly when we did that video last week, but it had to be somewhere around here. It said high 70s, we're up to 85. Hey, generally we're in a good direction. I'm sure it must have hurt when we came back down here and tested this again, but came back up. And if y'all would have watched, again, none of this is financial advice. Every now and then I can, even a blind rat can find a piece of cheese. I called 5 tokens. I got a lot of heat for one of them, and that was Helium. But I called out Vet and VThor. This is what Vet looked like, and it had nice recovery. A lot of the tokens did too, but this is what I put mine into. Maybe have to take it out for taxes, but this is what I put mine into. So here you go. Down here at about I know you can't see it because my fat head's in the way, but it was down at a 0.017, and at one point it was up to 0.24. So that was VeChain. AVAX did the same thing, $15 up to about $20. So a nice little healthy recovery. But the one that I took a lot of heat on, Helium. If those who don't know, I was going to talk about it more later, but I'm going to hit on it now. Helium has reached a settlement with the SEC. With that settlement, you had a decent price recovery. You were down to $2.29 not too long ago when I did my video. At one point, if you would have cashed this out last night, not that anybody would have cashed this out at this point, but it's fun to say that. This was up 90% since my video. 90%. Listen, I know they got articles out there, and they got an article that's been floating around on Twitter from the last 2 or 3 days from a certain professor that I highly respect, and he knows his stuff. I know what his article says, and I don't know the full fundamentals behind HNT as far as the money in, money out type situation. But I will still say, of a lot of DPIN projects, it's hard to argue how long Helium's been here, and Helium has a working network. I just got a hold of 2 more DIMOs from somebody who didn't want one. One of them, brand new, still in the box. It's 5 DIMO macrons. What do they all use? The Helium network. Wherever they go, Helium network. I was reading about there's a certain project that I'm not allowed to speak about that is doing some current testing with LTE cards inside of it. And listen, before I get in trouble, I swear it's not Wingbits. It is not Wingbits. I'm going to say it's again, not Wingbits, because I know as I said that, I can see people putting 2 and 2 in their mind, but this time 2 and 2 is equaling 5. So don't put this too much. There's another project I was discussing with somebody who's looking at doing LTE type tethering for their device, and they're using the Helium network. And of course, I asked them for a project, a test thing, and I don't know if I'm gonna get that or not. But we were talking about another issue with another part of their project, and he mentioned that they're currently testing it out to alleviate some of this. And of course, we say it's the Helium network, but it's also really T-Mobile. But when it is around a Helium device, Helium cellular, it's running off that backbone. So my point I'm getting at is it's it is a it is a successful network, despite what people want to say about it. We're not making the money we did before. I'm not going to harp on all that, but hey, I've told y'all, if I can get Helium back to just about $25 or $30, life will be very much more comfortable because I have a lot of HNT. And we're going to talk about that in our projects in a little bit. And, you know, some people had comments about me talking about WIF. WIF has also had nice recovery. I'll put some money into that. And I actually moved some from a certain token that we talk about here into that. And at one point, this was up 50%. And look, some tokens haven't moved that much. Just want to say that. But again, none of this is financial advice. It's just kind of what I'm dealing with, throwing money in right now. And before we get started on this, we had some shakeups. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Some caught me off guard, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how the next couple of weeks play out. But as you can see right here on this side, where this ranking is, we've had a lot of shakeups. It's gonna take me a while to have to redo all the chapters I normally do in the YouTube section below, because normally they're all been ranked the same for so long that I just have to update the seconds to do the chapters for y'all. I'm gonna have to redo all this. But you know, without further ado, let's get started on this. So y'all know number one still going to be Entropy. They had a decent price little increase since last week, which is bringing up our daily mining to about $8. The average amount of tokens has gone down a little bit, but you're still making, as of right now, about $8 a day. Let me tell you, y'all know about the second law. What happens if you cheat or you get deleted, and you know, you can't really sell anything. I'm gonna tell you, for what my tax bill is, that Entropy wallet is looking awfully sexy. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You know, it's killing me. In the group chat, in the raid chat that I'm in with a bunch of guys from Entropy, I'm telling them, I told them, don't y'all ever ask if I am loyal to this project, because the Entropy wallets I got, all my problems would go away. And if my wife knew that, you would see probably a steak knife through the side of my neck. That's all I'm going to tell you, because we don't know how I'm going to pay this, but while I got this Entropy sitting right there. But, you know, I'm in this project long term. I don't want to be kicked out. It's making very good. You know, y'all know I got multiple creds right now, so making more than $8 a day, and it hurts, but it is what it is. Maybe I gotta do a little GoFundMe fundraiser. Pay Grumpy's tax bill so he don't end up in the gulag like Call of Duty. But we're still waiting to hear some more about the NFTs and stuff like that, and when the miners are coming. So we'll see what's going on, and y'all know I'll keep y'all up to date on that. Moving on is going to be GeoDNet. A little bit of a price decrease on GeoDNet, and still making about 24 Geo today. It only went down about a penny since last week. It says, you know, it went down 5% in 7 days, but it went from 21.5 cents to about 20 cents. So it went down a penny and a half. So we're still making about $5 a day with GeoDNet, with no real big announcements or anything like that. Moving on to Chirp. No big announcements from them either. The only announcements they had was you can click on their Twitter for a blog or something like that to explain again what their whole goals are. You know, a lot of people are questioning it right now just because there's supposed to be another kind of a network IoT type project, but they seem to be pushing this KAGE thing more than anything. I kind of question a little bit about the KAGE as far as gaming is going. I know over the weekend I was supposed to be doing a video on it, but this Discord thing has been taking up my life right now. But I went to a large, super large festival Saturday that I haven't been to in over 20 years. Convinced my wife to go with me, and I told her I'm strictly going to do Chirp KAGE. The Chirp KAGE, Silencio, 375 go the whole way there and back. And tell you, the app could not keep up with the amount of Bluetooths and Wi-Fi's out there. You're just watching it and it's struggling to count. The Wi-Fi would just get stuck, and the Bluetooth would just keep counting. and counting and counting, and it could not keep up. And I got bonuses and all kinds of stuff, and I didn't move up in rank one bit. And I'm looking and I'm watching that these people ahead of me that I should have been passing up are somehow passing. I mean, somehow gaining distance between me. And I'm like, there's no way. I am in a pretty much a maximum connection place right now. I don't care where you're at. I'm in the middle of a festival with, I don't know how many people out there. I got pictures of it. I got videos of it. I'm gonna eventually do a video and show y'all. And again, I hate to accuse anybody of cheating, but I have to call the BS flag on this one. Like Friday, I went to the French Quarter Fest in downtown New Orleans, which was packed with people. I scanned and got all kinds of stuff on that one. Then Saturday, I go to this other place and I scan there. Again, I'm going to say this again. The app couldn't even keep up. It was just like pounding and pounding and pounding with these Bluetooths and Wi-Fi's and even cellular connections at 100 apiece. And yet there's a greater distance now between me and the two guys ahead of me than there was before. So again, I don't accuse nobody of nothing. They might be just sitting there at baseball games doing it. I don't know, but we'll see. There's no payments, nothing on Chirp KAGE, no rewards as far as anything like that. They're saying that they guarantee that there'll be something before May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, something like that. I don't know why they can guarantee that and don't know when it's going to hit. I think they're worried about the amount of people they're going to push back when they don't get the kind of rewards they think they do. It's going to be like all these other projects where these free projects where people walked around with a phone in their hand, whether it was Soarchain or Silencio or even NATIX, and didn't get the rewards that they expected for going out of their way. And Chirp has been trying to tell people, and I will say this again, Chirp is trying to tell people, don't expect these crazy rewards. This is just supposed to supplement y'all a little bit. If you don't have a Blackbird, or even if you have a Blackbird, just to supplement you a little bit, people are going to go crazy. Guarantee it. Moving on. Junkcoin had a little bit of a price recovery, and they're still averaging about $1 a day. No big rewards. I mean, no big announcements or anything like that. Junkcoin does have a channel in my page. If y'all saw that in my server, if y'all want to go and check that out, not in it yet, but I plan on trying to add and to donate some stuff, what do you want to call it? Participate in each one of these channels. That really is my goal, is to I'm probably going to shut down the Facebook pages that I have just because they get no use. I mean, there's no real big important posts, nothing going on. The Wingbits one I had was a duplicate, so like I said earlier, I gotta try to put my time towards stuff that is going to be most beneficial. And my side business took a loss last year. I didn't realize how bad it was until the taxes. But it is what it is. I got to try, without putting myself back in the hospital, I got to try to just balance all this stuff out. But I am going to try to participate as much as I can in the Discord server, more than kind of anywhere else other than, of course, this YouTube channel. So WeatherXM. So as you can see, these top are kind of like the same thing. So WeatherXM is at 22 cents. Another one that just doesn't have a lot of updates right now. It's just business as usual, I guess you want to call it. I will say that, give credit where credit is due. A little bit of a price increase, along with some other projects we saw on crypto that we saw. But you had from 19 cents, and it actually went down to 17 cents. Came back and was back up to 22 cents. It's still at 22 cents now. So they will give credit. WeatherXM, a little bit of recovery. Hopefully it keeps that kind of momentum going. I'm still making those same amounts. Still get complaints on my app about Wi-Fi and different disconnects, and I'm like, this thing has not moved in ages. Why connect good for 6 days? All of a sudden on the 7th day it has these dropouts. There's nothing I can control. So I just let it run. All right, so we're moving on. Keep going. And this was a huge jump. Because it was lower than number 7 last week. It was actually number 11 11 about 2 weeks ago. So now it's number 6. So it's had some good recovery, and this price, it's I think a lot. I don't care if I hurt people's feelings. It's a little upsetting to see the amount of selling going on. You finally had some good positive price, and just people just feel like they made $3 profit. It's time to pull out. Hey, that's their prerogative. We know where this price used to be at one point, and $55. $55. It's 93% down. I don't know. It was up to like $4 earlier yesterday, and that's when I about went crazy that it was like 4 something. Hey, I hope they keep coming back. Again, I said this earlier. I hope they at least get to like a $25, $30. I know I said this before in other videos. It was over about $10 just a couple of months ago. It was coming back up, and then something happened, and I don't know if sometimes they just can't get out their own way, or people just are so afraid that, hey, the token went up a little bit. I need to sell some. I don't know, but that's Helium. No real news as usual with them. Business as usual, but sometimes that's scary. So I don't know. All right, going to ERWIN. Had a slight price increase. They were at about 12 cents last week, 13.5 cents now, making about 37 cents a day. Again, with ERWIN, ESP32 project, it all matters about how many boxes are opened and how many are actually good and not burned. And this week you had 3. And it's weird. It'll go 2 or 3 days without a box opening, and all of a sudden, maybe in a day, it'll open up 3 boxes in a row. And you have to keep your miner charged through the Discord. And I've been trying to keep up with that. I didn't really miss any days as far as I know. Well, I can tell you I have not missed any days as far as looking on the dashboard and seeing when a box was opened and if I was charged or not. So, I'm not gonna sit there and say I caught exactly when my device went offline and then charged it, because it's so stupid that I told y'all you can try to charge it early, and if you're more than a couple of hours, it won't let you charge it, and then you're sleeping and you got work. Yeah, I know they want you to stay in the Discord forever, but you can't. But I try to, so when I wake up the next day or when I get to work, I'll charge it. Luckily, I didn't miss any box openings. So, I got a couple of dollars worth. When you divide it up by 7, you get 37 cents a day. That's how I came up with that number. Next is going to be NATIX. Just looking, NATIX has 0 announcements since last week. I think the only thing they had was about some kind of HODL raffle starting. A slight price increase, kind of like everybody else in their token. So it helped out a little bit. So when you take the 16,400 from March that I received, and you divide it, multiply it by token price and divide it by 30 days, you're getting about 31 cents a day. And I drove pretty decent amount in March, but and did my nitro and all stuff like that, like I normally do, and got 16,000 tokens. So just gonna hold on to them and see what's up. I tell y'all all the time, I'm not rushing, even with the tax thing going on. I'm not rushing to sell these tokens because they're not worth hardly anything. I know some people, they get $5 worth of tokens and they got to cash them out right now. Hey, that's on you. So people feel they got to make close to the ROI as best they can. That's on y'all. Moving on to another one. It's going to be Grass. Again, Grass is in the middle of an epoch. I know I sound like a broken record, and I don't mean to, but I just can't see the success of a project that keeps only paying out people once a year. But hey, I say that, but you look into the Grass, you look in the Grass Discord, and they're like little goldfish at the top of the pond. They're just still waiting to get fed, And it's like, they haven't paid out anybody since October. Do you really have to go through all these 8 or 9 epochs and stuff like that, then do a drop? And it's, the positive thing about it is, and I was talking to somebody and I thought about one day just doing a separate video of ranking how easy some of these projects are versus how PITA some of them are. And grass is one that, as long as your device stays powered up and doesn't do a Windows reset, because I've had that issue too, where Windows will pop up with some goofy advertisement for a drive or something like that, cloud. And basically it's a blue screen, but it's only because it's a blue screen advertisement, but it shuts down everything. So it's Windows more than anything. But, you know, grass will sit in the corner on an old computer, old desktop or something like that, old laptop, and just run. Unless you're using it like on BitHarvest or Crank or something like that. BitHarvest is still, they got some internal issues they're dealing with, some family emergencies they're dealing with. But for right now, just to be straight with y'all, grass is not running on BitHarvest. They aware of the issue. They're trying to figure it out, but when their main developer's got a serious family issue going on, he had to leave the country. I could understand. Prayers for him, prayers for his family and stuff like that. Hopefully they can get all that resolved soon and kind of make some progress on that. But grass, along with Honeygain and Pawns, hey, on my server, Discord server, I do have codes if you want to get into all these, and you get bonus stuff for using my codes. I get a little bonus too. Helps the channel out. But just so y'all know, almost anywhere you run in grass, you can also run Honeygain Pawns. You can run all three of them, and all together, you know, you might be able to bunch it all up together and do something with it. No updates at all from any of these projects. DIMO, I'm not really ready to say I'm sorry to DIMO because their pricing or their token price is abysmal. You know, last week's video, they were at 6 cents. They're still at 6 cents now. They didn't go back up with everybody else or anything like that. If you have a brand new macro, are you opening up out the box like I just did, wherever my box is, it's 11 cents a day. If you have one that's been established for several weeks, it could possibly bump up to 22 cents a week, 22 cents a day. So with that, you know, I kind of average the middle out, 15, 16 cents a piece. I still think it's absolutely ridiculous that these devices are almost 16 months old and I have not ROI'd on them for an $89 device. I think that's sad. But again, you can't blame the project for the price. What I will tell you is, you know, there's a video I want to do right now, and I'm trying to, especially with me trying to build my Discord up. I know y'all like my cranky videos and grumpy videos, but the amount of issues I had with Soarchain and Silencio and stuff over this weekend, the constant crashes, the constant disconnects and stuff like that. And then I will say that I was in the DIMO Discord earlier today about an issue I'm still having my truck. If y'all know, remember my truck used to have the issue where it said it wasn't connected for 17 months, 17 years or 18 years, something like that. And Shaolin, that mod there was cool as hell with me, worked me through some issues. Mine kept saying it had an update, but it really didn't have an update. And he was on point. You'd ask him a question, he was right there and really helped me out with it. And was, you know, telling me about some of the other things they got going on. And I told him this. It sucks that the token price is so bad that more people can't get behind this project. And I'm not going to tell you his comments because I don't like to tell people comments about what we talk about in Discord or in private message, because I'm not like that. But, you know, I told him, I said, of all these devices, and I tell you this all the time, of all the devices, all the projects I'm in, DIMO's got to be one of the most easiest ones for me to deal with. Again, I had issues with Soarchain all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I took videos. I have videos of me holding this camera up on my phone, and I have Soarchain on this phone, and I would just blindly just say, okay, let's go see what Soarchain's connected. And you'll open it, Soarchain disconnected. So I'd sit right there on video, let it connect, show everybody the time, and I'd wait 20, 30 minutes. Sure enough, you come on here, it's disconnected again. The Bluetooth sucks. Downright sucks. I don't know whose fix that was, because people complain about Wi-Fi tethering, but now Wi-Fi tethering doesn't work worth the hell either. We're not in testnet no more with some of these projects. This has got to stop. And I'm going to do a video on it at some point. But with DIMO, you don't have that problem. So yes, you might be making less. But hey, and I got a buddy that had 2 of them still in the box and said, dude, you can have this. I don't want them. So I'll take 5. I'm not an idiot. I mean, I had 3 already, took his 2. So now I got 5, because you put 5 of them together, and what you're making now, it ain't too bad. You know, if you're making $5 a week, $6 a week, or whatever it ends up being, hey, I'll take that. I'm not an idiot, but at least some people might argue with that. But yeah, so hopefully DIMO can get that price stuff, you know, working. You read some of the comments, and some people love it, and some people think it's bearish and everything else. I don't know, but good luck, DIMO. No updates though, but from them other than that. Moving on to Soarchain. I told you just now how I feel about Soarchain. Yes, their rewards went up. Hoorah! Their rewards went up for the first 2 hours you're driving. So yesterday, when I drove to Grand Isle for the umpteenth time to try to fix that connection, I need to help. I have to help them. These people that I'm friends with get some type of better networking in there, because this is getting old fast. Me driving down there, but it's one of my best stations. So I'll keep driving down there once every 2 or 3 weeks to fix Wi-Fi connectivity issues. He don't have Ethernet nowhere around there, but that Soarchain, it doesn't matter if they're giving you extra rewards for the first 2 hours if the dang thing can't stay connected. It's horrible, horrible, unusable, horrible. Anybody else would have gave up on it, just said screw it. But for a video, I'm going to show y'all, because people are going to attack me and say I'm grumpy all the time, whatever. No, I just expect stuff to work. We're not in testnet no more. This is horrible. Horrible. So when you take the amount of tokens I've been making, about 2 or 3 hours a day driving, and you divide them up, it's about 14 cents right now. It's horrible. Did I tell you it's horrible? But if you want to talk about horrible, here's horrible. You know, I still say Silencio had a very decent price increase. I'm putting 00 like 1.3 or something like that, 0.016. So that brought up our average per day price. You know, when I look at my raffle tickets and stuff like that, and what I ended up getting for tokens, and you divide that by 30, and at that price, it ends up being about 14 or 15 cents per day. But again, that could change and flip month by month, depending on how you do on raffle tickets. You know, somebody who might have had 100,000 raffle tickets could technically end up with more Silencio tokens than I did. You know, I staked them all. When you stake them all, you get bonuses for the next raffle ticket and stuff like that. Raffle ticket drawing or whatever it is, that's going to be May 1st or May 2nd. But you read a lot of comments about Silencio right now, and there's a lot of accusations going on. I'm not even going to come close to repeating them, because I have no idea if any of them are true or where people come up with some of this stuff at. Because you know how crypto is if people start seeing some negative movement, some bad things from their projects that they're in, all of a sudden it's because they're all scamming people and everything's a scam, and the owners are scamming people and telling everybody just to buy the token and mine and stuff like that, while the owners are lining their pockets. Like it's all kind of stupid stuff, and you see that from a lot of projects. So I don't pay that any mind until we can see some type of proof of it. All right, moving on into our Wingbits, our testnet projects. Wingbits, you know, I had to put them #1 on my Discord server, because that's, y'all know how positive I feel about that. Even somebody pinned a thing for one of my old videos about I'm a Wingbits addict. I don't know where people come up with this stuff at, but the only real update right now with Wingbits is that, you know, devices are still arriving. You got some people who are all happy and showing off videos and pictures. I did get a notification from HiFix that I do have one coming, so I am actually happy with that. The big update for a lot of y'all is that the wallets are back enabled. I'm sure a lot of y'all know that already, but if you don't, with Wingbits, you have to go back now and attach your wallet, Solana wallet. I did Phantom. It was way easy. Well, I will say, though, is that one thing I found out when I first attached my Phantom wallet to Wingbits last year, I was just kind of getting started doing some really goofy stuff with Phantom and Solana and meme coins and stuff like that. And watching and listening to some of the horror stories that I'm hearing from other people, where people got a hold of their 12 words and was able to clean out their whole wallet and all the accounts in their wallets, or just, that one particular wallet maybe. What I did is I went and created a whole new Phantom with a whole new 12 words, completely new 12 words. And the only thing that I'm attaching that Phantom to with those 12 words is Wingbits. I'm not expanding it into other accounts or anything right now because I have so many Wingbits tokens. I'm not taking any chances. That's me. So the point of all that was, if you did have a Solana wallet attached before the big dashboard upgrade, when they cleared out wallets, you are free or allowed to put a new Solana wallet in there. Now, one thing I wasn't accounting for is I have 4 or 5 different hosts, and I didn't realize that they were going to wipe the actual addresses out. And so I'm still trying to track down one of those Phantom wallets from a host to get their address, to put it back as a host address. When you're setting up the wallets, you have to make sure that, I might need to do a video on this, but your owner wallet has to go first to cover all your stations if you have multiple stations, and then you go and you add your guest wallets. But that's about it for Wingbits right now. 375, there's no updates on it at all. Again, it's a cool project because it just runs in the background of your phone. I went to this big festival over the weekend, went to the French Quarter Festival on Friday, went to Grand Isle yesterday. 375 AIs is running in the background. Every now and then I check it to make sure it's running and not frozen up, and let it keep on running. And we'll see what happens with it. Bit Harvest, we talked about Bit Harvest. Hopefully they can get all their issues straight. And Wayrune Sourceful, I actually made channels for them just to show y'all that I'm not just lying when I tell y'all I promise I'm looking into it one day. I did make channels in my Discord for Wayrune and Sourceful to show that hopefully we can get that going. So, this video might actually be under an hour. I know I breezed through a lot of that. I apologize, but these projects right now just chugging along, don't have a lot of updates going on. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. Gotta get back to this Discord. I'm exhausted. And I really also gotta finish my taxes. I have to finish out. I'm going to pay for them. So, gosh. Oh. See what happens when y'all get old? And then when I hear the news and hear people talk about paying more taxes or fair share taxes and all this stuff like that, I'm like, just shut up. Shut up. Or like, there's nothing wrong with sending money to countries overseas that don't care for the United States. And, it's easy to say that when it's everybody else's tax money. How about we quit sending that money and take care of the homeless and the homeless children here that can't eat? And then after that, you don't charge us any more taxes. I don't get that political rant. It's just, I always get like this when it comes down to tax time. I don't even want to tell y'all what I paid in taxes. So I don't want nobody to say that, oh, I did this and took these cuts. It ain't nothing like that. I paid a pretty good penny in taxes. It sucks, man. It sucks that this time of year, that's what you got to talk about. I remember last year talking about the same thing, but last year I broke even. I'm not even close to breaking even this year. So, and that's even with a finance person helping me, who's actually a financial advisor or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. All right, man. Time to get back to this Discord. I can hear it chirping behind me, and I'm seeing what settings I got messed up. If y'all go to that Discord, don't be upset. This is a brand new Discord. It's literally 24, maybe 36 hours old or something like that. First one I've ever set up. First, you wouldn't believe the amount of permissions behind the scenes that have to be done and how easy it is to screw those up. Because I did. But we'll get through it. I got a lot of good people help me, some good friends. And again, I appreciate all the support. And I can't believe strictly the amount in literally 12 hours, how many people have joined us. And hopefully some of y'all joined it too. Of course, there will be a link in the description below. And hopefully y'all join and come join us and say hello. And I appreciate all the support and everything y'all have done. Y'all have given me. Happy Easter for those who celebrate Easter. And if you don't, I'll pray for you anyway. I know I won't see y'all before Easter. I'm sure I'll be doing a video too, but as far as Monday videos go, it'll be the day after Easter. So thank you all for everything as usual, and I'll see y'all next video.